Welcome to Robert Pears Photography. This is Robert Pears. I want to talk today with you regarding wedding albums. This is a very fun stage and a critical stage where we work closely together to create something that I believe you're going to cherish for the rest of your life. We offer two types of wedding album, the Infinity Flush Mount and the Renaissance Wedding Album. Now, the Renaissance Wedding Album is the older traditional matted photos, typical to what you've seen in your parents, grandparents, etc. We will not be covering that album in this presentation. Photo books are separate and we'll discuss those again in a different presentation. So we're focusing on the Infinity Flush Mounted Wedding Album. The first steps, well, look at your contract, and if you've got a wedding album, it will say either the Infinity Flush Mount or the Renaissance, and you have a choice between the two. If you choose the Infinity Flush Mount, then listen to this presentation. We got some information for you. Now, you will see that there's a number of sides given. You need to look at, I'll show you in a minute, that when we talk about sides, it forms a panoramic, so two sides form a panoramic one page, and I'll show that in a minute. Then we need to look at templates and how we want to lay it out. And I think it starts with you drawing out a plan of how you want things to proceed in the album. I put here typically what we would do, we start the first two pages to form a panoramic one side of images of both of you. Then we look at preparation time, service, post-service, outside photos, reception, and we go through. Once you've drawn out this plan, you can begin then to collect the photos you want, and we group them together for each of these. Now I know the next question you're going to ask, well, how many photos can I put into it? Well, that's where we have to determine how do you want it to look. And I'm going to go very quickly, if I may, to Photoshop and just show you something. Okay, so here, and if I just pull this out of the way, and if I just move this over, this is two sides. This line is the half. So there's one side, two sides. And you can see here it forms a panoramic one page, if you want to call it. Now, there will be no crease or cut here at the half page. So you can do a picture, and you can do the whole panoramic image as a picture. I generally recommend keeping it to 3/4. You could do a half, you could do less. But as you see, we have some white space here. So this page, so how many pictures can we get in this two sides? Well, we can obviously get one, but we can get more. So let's just take an area. We want to add over here some more photographs. And I'm going to bring this up, and as you'll see what happens here, we can then begin to add a collage. And we could do the whole page as a collage, and we have a variety of different types of shapes that we can use. And basically these shapes allow us, so let's say we selected this one and put on selection, it's going to add. Now we can then go in and we can actually make these bigger if we wanted to. So right now I have the ability, and if I had the picture selected, I can automatically get it and it will put the pictures in their place. So we could go in here, we could make these bigger if we wanted to, we could resize these, and as I said, we could make these bigger so they actually overlap a little bit. We could add additional collage pictures. So how many pictures in a page? Well, it really can vary. And as you can imagine, if I made this smaller, I could make this a complete page of pictures, and we could have maybe 10 or more. But it's not uncommon to look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. So again, as we think about the design, that really determines how many pictures. We can add something. We could add another picture here. We could take, for example, a bit of a picture of your flower bouquet and put in the background behind here as well. We can move these around, play with these, and just try and create a very balanced image. We also have the ability, we could even put some pictures down here as well. So there's a lot that we can do in creating a wedding album. And it's important that we work together determine how you want that layout. So again, how many pictures? Well, start to think about the layout. Do you want, as I have here, do you want a 3/4 page? Do you want a picture for me 10%, 25, 75%? How do you want it? And the beautiful thing about these panoramic pages that you can make a picture 3/4 a page, and it looks really, really beautiful. And you can stop by our studio and we will show you. again, we begin to arrange, and you need to determine, we want to balance. You can mix black and white and color, and we can show you great examples of that. We'll show you in the next presentation. But we want to make sure we create a balance, that things flow together, the images, and so that's important that the images you select flow together. You could have, for example, a collage where there's a big black and white in the center, surrounded by color. Long as it really flows, there's balance, and it looks good. And we'll make some comments, but at the end of the day, we allow you to really dictate and have it so it's your album. We can add a lot of things to really accent and bring out a little extra to the picture as well. Now, when we gather together, we can do this over the phone, but we like to do it in person if possible. You can bring with you, if you have examples of wedding album layouts that you like, and we'll begin to use this. We'll work on those. Our comments, what we do need is the list of photos that you're looking at. And we will do everything we can to get every photo that you want in. Sometimes we have extra room, and we will suggest to you some other pictures to begin to build that album. Well, that is the first steps in creating a wedding album, and I encourage you to work closely with us, and so that we partnership and develop this album. In the next presentation, we'll go into this a little more detail. Thank you.